Hey guys, how's it going? It's Alex of Coyote Star Astrology, and this is my new moon solar eclipse in Cancer video for July 2nd, 2019. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I am back home. So happy to be home, and I decided to do this eclipse video in my living room because we're talking about the archetype of Cancer, which is all about the home space and feeling really nurtured and secure and familiar and protected. So I really wanted to create an environment that felt kind of cozy and personal. So new moons, we're always talking about new beginnings, and when it's a new moon with a solar eclipse, it's almost like a super new moon. It's like a massive clearing and a massive portal of growth and change. Eclipses happen on the nodes of the moon. This eclipse is happening on the north node of the moon in Cancer. So it's very much a gateway having to do with the past and the future. And there's an undeniable sense of mourning around this eclipse, I won't lie, because it is in the very emotional and nostalgic, very attached and needy archetype of Cancer, which is really having to become vulnerable and recognize that there are certain aspects of our life that we have outgrown or that are no longer providing the sense of security that Cancer really needs. So there's a lot of emotional processing. It's a very introspective time as we lead up to this eclipse and during the eclipse. And we've been riding these Cancer waves for a while. It's been an emotional couple of weeks. And we had Venus opposite Jupiter square to Neptune a few days ago, which was not an easy transit for friendships and relationships. And the cord cutting ceremony or ritual really, I think, takes place during this eclipse on Tuesday, July 2nd, because we're really being asked to step through this gateway, and we've outgrown certain things, or there are certain things that are not making us feel loved, safe, and secure. So a lot of astrologers talk about eclipses as wild cards, and I would agree with that because there's definitely a wild kind of surreal nature to them. Often the day of the eclipse will feel quite magical because it is this kind of etheric portal. But I think of them personally as a snapshot of where we're at, and we really want to prepare for this picture that's about to be taken, because whereas a new moon, the seeds we plant come to fruition over a lunar cycle, a eclipse, those lessons come to fruition over a 6-month period. So if you were about to take a voyage on, say, a boat, because Cancer is a water sign, there are probably certain things you wouldn't want to be stuck with on your journey. So leading up to the eclipse on Tuesday, you might want to really start to think about, what do I want to bring with me on this 6-month journey? Because you don't want to get to your destination 6 months from now and have to deal with the lessons as a result of not letting go of attachments that you knew weren't serving you any longer. And because we're talking about Cancer, the environment that we want to curate on this journey is one of safety and security, and really tapping into our heart, noticing what feels yucky, what feels tired, what feels stagnant or unhealthy, and what do we need to do in order to protect ourselves and provide ourselves with an environment of security. So in many ways, I think this is about coming to our own rescue, because no one's going to do it for us, and providing the kind of mothering protection that we would hope to receive from our own guardians, and kind of turning that protection in on ourselves and realizing that we are worthy of that kind of attention, and really becoming our own superhero and necessarily cutting or getting rid of anything that is making us feel threatened or unhealthy, or really not allowing us to feel loved the way that we deserve. And thankfully, we have Mercury and Mars in Leo during this eclipse. I'm so happy about that. We've had Mercury and Mars in Cancer for a while. It's been, as we've been talking about, very emotional, Both of those planets will be in Leo by Tuesday during the eclipse. And that is very exciting because, as we know, Leos love themselves, and they are really here to step into a leadership, very action-oriented, creative role within their own lives. So with Mercury and Mars in Leo, we'll at least have that on our side to sort of whisper in our ear and remind us of our potential in this life, and really hopefully inspire us to kick it into gear and get going towards our goals. Not to say that it's going to be easy. As I said, there's an undeniable sense of pain and mourning in some cases within this eclipse, because Cancer is about attachment and detachment and vulnerability and really being very raw. So I think how to prepare for this eclipse leading up to it and during it is to really go inward and make a list of things that do not make you feel protected, safe, loved, and secure. If it's happening in your 6th house, this might simply be changes in your day-to-day. How are you taking care of yourself? Are you honoring your temple? If not, what are the changes you need to make in order to make yourself feel loved and healthy? If it's in your 1st house, you might be necessarily cutting commitments within relationships that maybe at one point did provide the security but aren't any longer, and having to really outgrow those scenarios. So if you want help looking at where this eclipse has been hitting your chart, you can always email me. My email will be down below. But I think just making a list of those things that are making us feel not safe, not protected, not loved, and doing the work in order to get rid of those things, so that in 6 months we don't find ourselves stuck with them again and having to go through this process again. But I know that this isn't an easy transition for a lot of people. Eclipse season is pretty intense, but on the positive, it's going to provide a lot of opportunity and a lot of growth. This eclipse is sextile to Uranus, so there's definitely an unpredictable element to this eclipse. There may be some kind of event or sudden shift that really revolutionizes your day. And it is square to Chiron. So there is this wounded healer, shamanistic element to this eclipse, where we're really diving deep and going through this birthing process of pain and releasing and confronting to carry us through the eclipse portal. Wow, that was fast. I think that about wraps it up, you guys. I hope you have an amazing eclipse. If you would like to reach out to me, my email will be down below, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great one.